Okay, I guess we can start. So the way we planned it, we kind of wanted just a couple of words in the beginning about the SAYIT, so the main event that we are kind of promoting here by this shorter workshop. So yeah, there was an idea that raised up maybe like 2 years ago. So I'm also an NVC trainer. I'm also part of the team and part of the organizing team of this event. And yeah, but basically the idea came up from different events. I was having different roles for the past 7-8 years in many events, NVC based events especially, all over the world, and I kind of try to do something that gathers all the learnings from that event, so something that we could improve, something that we can do. So I kind of, with the help of the team, created a structure that is slightly different. So it's more learning time, a lot of sessions, more trainers, some sessions in parallel, and also some intensives. So it's kind of in the morning, you have a 3-hour session each day that will follow a topic through the 7 days of the event. And also kind of seeing different length on the event. I believe that 1 week is just enough to really dive deep enough and still have a lot of learning and a lot of connection, and also some transformation. So basically the structure of this SAYIT that we will have in November in a really beautiful place in Slovenia. So it's also the nature also supports the learning. We have been organizing events then since I don't know, since 2017 or something like that. And it's a beautiful valley. It's a lot of nature, a lot of water, creeks and cold lakes, and it's kind of really, really nice location. And also I really enjoy the trainer team. So all the meetings we had so far, there's a lot of inspiration coming from me as well. So it's kind of, I'm really enjoying the team, and I'm really hopeful. Also looking at the content really, really attracts me. And John, I'm going to mute you. Okay, so it's, yeah, for me, it's a really, really beautiful event. Every time I look at the schedule is already available at the sayit.si webpage. You can check the sessions. You can see what you can expect. Of course, there will be some flow. There are things they might change, but just by looking, you can check what you can expect, and you can see. And yeah, Pernille is one of the 3 key or core trainers that we will offer intensive and some workshops in the afternoon and evenings. And I'm really excited about the things that she's going to offer, but she's going to say more about the content. And we will have a little glimpse on what we will offer there today, and hope that I'm guessing that all of us get stuck sometimes, and I know that I do. And I'm also looking forward to see what Pernille is going to offer to us. So Pernille, if you are willing, I'm giving the word to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, a very warm and excited welcome from me as well. I know quite a few of you, and there are some of you I don't know. And in either case, it's very exciting. And and how interesting that we are so many. With the next person entering, we will move to the second screen. Isn't that fantastic? I think it's a full group. I really enjoy that. So I will speak a little bit about what stuckness is. It's actually a word I never really use. And I thought, well, because I like to tell it in more words, like if there is something you want to do and you can't make yourself do it, and you start becoming irritated with yourself because you can't move, and then you start assigning labels and judgments on yourself. Well, that's stuck, right? So and it seemed like it did hit a point of interest with many of you, so or with you who are here. So wonderful. Here we are going to speak about this thing that we can call stuckness, even though it doesn't match my understanding of what it actually is. Because my understanding is that nothing is ever stuck. Everything is moving, but we have, for some reason, lost our ability to see where it moves, or we are not responding to a certain calling, and that means that calling just happens again and again and again. So this is what we'll be dealing with today. And I haven't taught this before. I've used this process very often with clients. Perhaps a few words about myself. I'm 61 years old, so we start from here and then move backwards. I have worked with nonviolent communication, or I've known and integrated nonviolent communication since 2002, and I've been a nonviolent communication certified trainer for the last 12 years. I'm also a certified coach, and I'm certified by our fellow trainer of nonviolent communication, Sarah Payton, who has created her own certification course. And what I'm offering you here is a mixture of those, NVC coaching and what Sarah Payton, how she has contributed, especially to the way we are with a person we want to accompany. That's her huge contribution. Before that, as some of you know, before I met NVC, I was surviving a very tragic marriage. That relationship lasted for 13 years. And I knew I wanted to leave it very soon in the relationship. And why didn't I do it? Then one child came, then another one. It just made it harder. It just made my wish to leave even harder. That has been my most prominent experience of stuckness. And I think those years in that marriage has been, they've been my most important training in life, that has broken my heart open and has fueled my journey through nonviolent communication, through supporting other people, and through Sarah Payton's work, Resonance. Yeah, so this is me, the very short version. Because this is a very short webinar, I won't invite you all to speak, because I would like to deliver content for you. Feel free to use the chat while I'm speaking. I will do so that I don't see it. If there are any direct questions to me, you need to send them to Dimitri, and he will interrupt me. But you can use and chat and say hello to each other as you want. I created a handout for the process I'm going to demonstrate in a moment. And I don't want anybody to have the handout without having witnessed the process, if not even been exposed to it, but at least witnessed it. So I will upload it by the end of our time together today. So I'll do a demo with one of you. So please start considering if you want to be the one. If there is more than one who signs up, we'll do a lottery. It'll be fair and square. And after that demo, that will be about 20, certainly not more than 25 minutes, hopefully 20 minutes. Then we'll talk about what you witnessed. This way, when I tell you what the process is about, you can relate it directly to what you just witnessed. Yeah. So how is the excitement level? If this is high and this is low, let me see where you'd put your hand. Oh, there's some quite high excitement. Wonderful. Yeah, fantastic. Oh, this makes me excited and fuels me. Okay. So because I know quite a few of you, I know that many of you are steeped in nonviolent communication, and you will probably have ease in following the process. Is there any of you who've never met nonviolent communication before? Oh, it's not the case. That's actually wonderful, even though I would be very open to explain the basics of it. But without this need, I will. And it could be that those who listen to the recording are not knowing nonviolent communication. If you listen to this recording, before you listen to the rest of it, go to YouTube and Google TED Talk and Yoram and you'll find a wonderful introduction of 14 minutes, and that would be all you need in order to understand the rest. Okay, so please raise your hand, electronic or physical, if you've got your camera on, if you would enjoy to be my demo client. Birgitte, yes. And as I said, just because you're not as fast as Birgitte, you still have a chance, because we'll do it as a lottery. So I'll give a few moments of time to consider for those of you who are perhaps more introvert or just not so fast. Okay, it doesn't seem to be the case. Well, Birgitte, you won the lottery. So if you're willing, please come back on camera. Oh, Gosha, you made a little bit grumpy face. Would you have liked to be part of it too? No, okay, wonderful. It was something else, yeah. Birgitte, any chance you can come back on camera, or did something happen to you? I'm wondering if you're hearing me. I will continue making you visible for everybody. Oh,
Can you hear me now?
now I hear you. It is a bit broken.
Yes, I'm just coming out of a mobile hole here. So
Okay, so I'll give you a moment to do that, and I'll
let's see if
speak.
that's better.
Yeah, I'll speak to the whole group while you're finding yourself here. So you will be witnessing
Thank you
this
so
process between Birgitte and myself. And what I want you to notice is that there are a few faces, not as in how you look, but stages in this process. And see if you notice when we do a shift to the next stage. There'll be something like 5 stages or so. So see if you notice them, and you notice what initiates the next phase, the next stage, because you might, if you want to support someone with this process, then this is helpful, and even with yourself. I'm not just made a handout for the process of working with others, but also as a journal prompt, so that you can work with yourself while you are simply writing down your replies to some certain questions. Okay, so here we are, Birgitte. Happy to see you here. I'll just place my camera so that it's right over your face. Oh, you're in your car still. Okay. If the connection turns out to be too bad, what do we do, Birgitte?
I mean, basically, my connection should be okay from now on and until I'm home.
Okay.
I might switch off my camera if I can see that it gets better that way.
Okay.
In between.
Okay. I would love to see you if possible.
I understand that.
Okay.
Also with the camera.
All right. So, Birgitte, my first step is that I will self-connect a little bit. And just to be fully transparent so that everybody knows what I'm doing, I'm asking myself, am I open to Birgitte? Am I even willing to be changed by Birgitte? So that it's not about my agenda, but it's about hers. Oh, yes. Yes, I am. And luckily for me, I've met Birgitte before. So even when I don't see her picture, I can easily picture her. So, Birgitte, what is it that you would love to happen that hasn't happened yet?
I would love for me to fully connect to my heart and to fully access my ability to love.
And yeah, thank you. So to access your heart, and I'm having a sense that there is some disappointment with yourself behind that. Is that true? Since this is about stuckness.
I think so, yes, because my reality is that I've been working on it for many years in many ways, and I feel that I'm not quite there where I would like to be. I'm longing for this connection.
Yeah. So can you give me a picture of what that would look like if you manage that connection?
Yes, I can, because I don't remember now how many years ago, but there was a time where I had what I would call a breakdown, where I experienced, in this pain of the breakdown, I experienced a complete connection to unconditional love. So it feels like a beam of light and love just going constantly without being interrupted by anything or anybody. No situation could touch this or change it. And I was in a constant sense of peace and happiness and contentment.
It sounds like bliss.
It was.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm so happy you've experienced bliss. And
Yeah.
even in the wake of a breakdown. Wow.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Birgitte,
And
there's one thing I want to talk to you about. I can see you in a car and you're not the one driving. So so you are being heard by somebody. Is that a concern in any way?
no, it's my husband, and he can totally hear everything.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so hi to husband.
Hello.
Hello, there you are. Thank you. Yes, and I know what you wrote to me a few days ago, that there was also something about in your relationship, so that this could be a shared process.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I welcome your husband as well. So this beam of light, what needs of yours or what qualities in your life would that fulfill if we try to open it a bit more?
Peace, love, community, connection, meaning, contribution,
Whoa.
purpose,
Whoa.
fun, joy, happiness,
Whoa, that's a
laughter.
lot. We could almost check the whole list of needs off.
Almost, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So will you take a moment and just reconnect with that period or that moment of bliss and just allow your body to remember what it felt like?
Mm.
Yeah. It looks like you're almost there.
Yeah, and I remember how it affected the people that I was around. I remember being aware of, at work, watching my coworkers, how it affected them without me doing anything. That was quite remarkable.
What a wonderful experience to have in your bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no wonder this is what you're drawn to have more of.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it sounds like that it's not available for you at the moment. Is that so?
Yes, it's in small pieces. It is. My experience back then was that it was I would say was wearing out, but I'm guessing what was happening was that I was, closing up little by little by little by little. So I felt it getting weaker and weaker and weaker until I lost the connection again.
And what are you telling yourself about not being able to reconnect with that?
That I lost something very valuable, that I should be able to reconnect.
Yeah,
That
I should be able to. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm mourning that I lost it.
And is there any activities that's a part of your attempt to reconnect with that bliss?
I'm picking it up again. There's been a long period where I haven't been doing activities, where I've gone into stress and worry and fear, and I'm still partly there, but I'm doing more. I think since about 3 weeks, I'm going more out to nature. I'm taking swims. I'm listening to empowering, affirmations or videos and peaceful music.
So you are doing what you know is good for you to do in order to make it more likely to arrive there again.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So what is the stuckness about then?
The stuckness is that I don't manage to get the connection, that I guess my head gets in the way, my fear gets in the way. I worry, I stress, I have fears. I go into the future, go into the past.
And you tell yourself you should be able to connect with your bliss.
Yeah.
What else are you telling yourself?
That I'm missing out. That is having consequences for me and my husband and for our marriage. That it's having consequences for our lives. That I'm losing time, losing years. I'm not getting younger. What if I never get it back?
Okay.
So basically a lot around that is having consequences.
Yeah.
Negative
Yes.
consequences.
So I'm hearing that there is something in you that is dissatisfied. Perhaps sometimes angry, perhaps sometimes just disappointed.
Yeah.
And how is it for something else in you to receive those expressions of dissatisfaction? If you're able to connect with that.
I don't know if I'm really receiving it. It seems to me that I'm actually avoiding receiving it, and in that way it stands in the way. So it kind of like just clogs up the tube.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So may I try something with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I was an acquaintance of you, which I am, and I would say to you, you should be able to reconnect. You're missing out on so much. It has consequences for your life, your marriage, and and perhaps you will never reach it. How is it for you to receive that?
I get really sad.
Yeah. Yeah, you get sad. Yeah. So can you allow that sadness for a moment? Yeah. And may I guess some emotions?
Yeah.
Is there an element of loneliness to it too?
Yes.
Yeah, comes so easily. Yeah. Yeah, so no wonder it's a sad story to hear these accusations or this very delicate blame towards you. And if we stay with this something in you that's sad and lonely, what are the needs of this something?
I think empathy and support, and I would say hope.
Yeah, this part needs hope.
Understanding.
Yeah,
Understanding.
Yeah. Understanding that it's not just that easy. Something like that.
Yeah.
Empathy, support, hope, and understanding. Yeah. Yeah. Or just imagine that if this was a child who sat with these emotions of sadness and loneliness and with these needs untended, that I would just hold it a bit. And I'm wondering if you'd like to hold it a bit too. You could hold this child and say, yes, no wonder you feel sad and lonely. Yes, of course you need empathy and support and hope and understanding. Yeah.
And also the need for recognition of the loss that I'm feeling, the mourning about it being gone.
Yes, something so precious, so sweet.
Yeah.
And you had it, and for some reason you don't have it any longer.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this part in you being fully heard? Do you have a sense that we've heard the nuances?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. Thank you. And so now, my curiosity turns to the good reasons for you to not have it, to not reconnect with this blissful situation. And so, yeah, do you know what that is, or do you want me to prompt you a bit more?
Right now, I don't know the good reasons for it, no. So
Yeah.
if you continue a little.
So now I'm speaking to sort of an intuitive answer, and you certainly not to your logic. So if it would be like an entity in you who is holding you back from reconnecting, what is the nightmare scenario that this entity is holding for you if you reconnected?
I wouldn't fit in.
Ah.
I wouldn't be understood.
Yeah. You wouldn't fit in, you wouldn't be understood. That sounds to me like huge loneliness.
And maybe old fears of being hurt.
Yeah, old fears of being hurt. Is that something about standing out, that's a very exposed position? Standing out as somebody who's different?
It's not so much the standing out, it's about, loving somebody and getting heartbroken.
Ah.
So it's about sharing love and then getting heartbroken.
Yeah. Just a moment. Meta, we'll just mute you. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, to be heartbroken. That when you open your heart to that degree, you also risk being heartbroken. Is that the logic?
Yes, and there's part of me that would feel extremely, vulnerable and unsafe.
Yeah. Yeah, so there is a perspective here of safety, of protection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is not a path I want to go deeply into, but I just want you to just consider, when you experience that, did you have any responses like what you just said? Of not fitting in, not being understood, and heartbroken? There were, so there were some crumbles of that experience. Yeah. So that would be worthwhile revisiting in order to heal the wounds from then, which we would do the same way, of just understanding and acknowledging. Yeah. And for now, I want to invite you to imagine or remember a time when you really felt protected, safe, a safe space for your vulnerability. Perhaps you could even imagine you are inhaling it, so that this wonderful quality of being protected could travel with your blood cells and reach every cell in your body as nourishing oxygen. Okay. So now we have mapped 3 different aspects of this stuckness, or whatever we want to call it. There is your needs for peace, love, community, connection, contribution, purpose. And you said more, joy, I think you said, lightness. Yeah, so all this is so precious for you, longing so much for it. And we also identified this, perhaps it's a younger something in you that is hungry for empathy and support and hope and understanding. And we also connected with this more cautious something in you that wants you to be protected. So if you were going to take a simple, easy step, activity, even just planning what to think about, that would accommodate all 3 of these portions of life-serving needs, what might that be?
Joining an NVC event.
Joining an NVC event. Yeah. And I see you, immediately you crack up and smile.
Yeah.
And is this something that would satisfy all 3 of these aspects of you?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. Yes.
It's about the it's about the way that people who have been working with NVC or who knows NVC, how I experience that, how they meet other people.
Ah,
That makes me feel safe.
yeah, so a place to be welcomed as you are,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I feel the effect of you saying that as well. Something is just expanding in me.
Mm.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so there's something for you to consider, I guess.
Yeah.
Anything else you'd like to say before we close for this session?
It's good to get a feeling of these other parts and get, clarity about that. And it's good to feel into how I could serve all the needs in these, in these three different parts.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised how clear the answer came.
Yes.
Because part of my stuckness is, I've tried this, I tried that, and I do a little here and I do a little there, and I kind of sense that it doesn't really do the big move.
Yeah.
So the stuckness is, what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm quite stunned about how clear and how strong this answer felt, because it was not from my mind. I've felt it in, my whole body.
Yeah.
Probably also because it's not that long ago that I was in that event, so it's very present, but it's very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Birgitte, for opening yourself in this community and trusting that you will be safe here, which you are.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening.
It was a pleasure. So I will unspotlight you and myself. And so here is a tradition I really love, which is that if you felt moved or received any gifts or experienced needs met from witnessing this conversation between Birgitte and myself, please write very short in the chat which needs were met or what gifts were received. Not long stories, just needs met. And I'm asking about this because doing a vulnerable process is exposing ourselves. And sometimes it can be a hard transition back into the group. And by knowing that we have contributed to somebody else's well-being for just the moment that this lasted, that is the best way I know of inviting this person back into our circle. And I can say, as I said during the process, for me, there was something about expansion that was met for me. I felt expanded. That was my gift, in effect, of very sweet connection. And Kelly writes, simplicity, calm, and support. Yeah, thank you. And if you feel drawn, then drop a line. We don't need a lot, so only if you feel drawn to it. It's not an obligation in any way. And I'll keep speaking, and Birgitte will receive. Even though you're on a phone, I think you can read the chat, right? Yes. Sharing, trust. Come now, yes. Integrity, sweetness, and softness. Right. Okay. So, if you're able to multitask, if not, please listen to the recording, because I guess everybody who was signed up will get it. I will name the steps of this process. In a learning situation, I would ask you what you noticed, and I also asked you to notice. And this is just a taster. This is not a full workshop. You can expect, if you go to SAYIT, that we will really do a learning laboratory after each demo, and everybody will have a chance to also to practice. But for now, you can practice with your practice buddy if you have such a person, and I will walk you through the process. So the first step was that I make myself available for my person, the person I'm supporting. And I'm doing that every day when I work with clients. Even sometimes when I'm having a dedicated conversation with a friend, I ask myself, am I willing to open to this person and to be changed by this person? For me, this is a magical formula. So that's the first step. And the next step is, what is it you would love to happen? And you heard Birgitte, what she said. Often it can be a quite concrete thing, like in my tragic marriage, it was, I want to leave my marriage. That was the thing. And so what is important is that we elicit the needs. And not everybody has a needs vocabulary. But then we can ask for qualities. What qualities would be fulfilled for you? And we make sure to also catch the emotions, because that's where the life comes from. So that was the first, or the next segment after connecting and opening up. The next segment is, how is it to not take the step? I'm only asking about this because this is a stuckness laboratory. Because you wouldn't call it stuck if it's just something you want to happen. But since you were attracted to a stuckness laboratory, I assume that you are blaming yourself in some subtle or direct way for not taking the steps that you want to. And as you saw in with our demo, this was a crucial moment for our dear Birgitte, because there was this sadness inside that she connected with, that wanted understanding, that wanted some gentleness. And this is what happens. I mean, we are often speaking to ourselves in a rough way compared to how we would speak to our best friend. And if you imagine speaking to your best friend the way you speak to yourself, you might also easily imagine how it is to receive that kind of messages. And we connect with that, really allow the feelings to be there, and connect with the needs that are not fulfilled. Needs for understanding, which is a classic. Need for being heard, being taken into consideration. Need for gentleness. So that's the second segment. And the next segment then is to look at, what is it that keeps this person or keeps me from moving in the desired direction? And there are good reasons, or if not, we would do it. And so sometimes the client would then say, nothing at all, nothing keeps me from it, I'm just too lazy. Well, then we'd need to say, okay, so that logical, rational voice in you, can we please park it outside of the room? And now, what is your nightmare scenario about what would happen in case you pursued what it is you want to pursue? And again, we need to catch the fear of whatever would happen, and also the needs, which is very often protection. And it could also be taking care of resources. It could be belonging. Belonging is very powerful here, which was also the case in the demo, not wanting to stand out, I think. Now, I wouldn't fit in, I wouldn't be understood. I didn't suggest belonging, but I suggested the feeling loneliness. But I guess belonging had been just as prominent. Only our client can tell, but we can offer it as a guess. So these are the three different parts of the full territory that we are mapping. And then it's the support person who says, okay, so these were the needs for this portion, and these were the needs coming from that portion, and those were the needs coming from the last portion of your inner landscape. So we support the client by mentioning them all. And then we ask, so what's an attractive step you can take that would accommodate all of these areas in you. Then we can ask if the client needs support, or if it's too ambitious, we can say what's an even easier step to take. So we can support the client to land with something that is doable for them. And it's up to them to choose whether they want to do it or not. But just this process unlocks this sense of being imprisoned in a response that is very hard to let go of and get some freedom. The process delivers some choice, huge choice or little choice, but it is a way to open to choice for the client or for yourself if you're journaling. Yeah, so that was the process. And now I'm very open to hear any questions you might have about the process. Yes. Oh yeah, and the very last step is self-reflection, which is, yes, so how was this process? Because we don't just want to resolve an issue, we want to learn from it, and that's the self-reflection, which is what I do with you now when I say, do you have questions or what did you learn? And impressions are welcome as well if you don't have questions. Yes, Kelly.
I'm wondering, when you say in the step to combine the needs, before you talk about the step, I'm wondering, it seems to me that there's also quite a bit of feeling in there. Do you also talk about the feelings? Because I like on the step where it was like, how is it not to take this step? There seems like that's about feelings and not needs.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I'm attempting to catch both feelings and needs with each step.
Okay.
It's the needs that make the magic in some way, and it's the feelings that take us with the client into a space of mutual understanding and accompaniment. And without catching the feelings, it becomes technical. Needs can be very technical, but we want to give the client a true sense of being gotten. That's the magical thing. When they feel accompanied and they feel safe in our hands, then something can start moving within. Thank you for this brilliant question, Kelly.
Thank you.
And Annelie.
Yeah, hello. When I was listening to your dialogue with Birgitte, then I was asking myself, how would I know exactly what I want to happen? Because sometimes I'm so lost that I cannot get connection with what exactly I want. Because she described the picture very well.
Yeah.
Because she had this experience.
Yeah.
But if I don't have this experience, I don't know exactly what I want to happen.
Yes, and Birgitte was such a wonderful demo client because she was so clear. It came so easily. Otherwise, we might have had to work for another half hour. So I was very pleased with that. And Annelie, I'm wondering if what you are longing for to get out of your stuckness is just to know the direction. So you don't need to know what your destination is, but the longing is simply just to know where to go.
Okay, like connecting with direction where I want to get moved from this place forward.
Yeah. Or get the brain fog to lift. Get the pros and cons discussion which drives you crazy to have that taken off so you have clarity of mind. Would any of those fit your situation?
Yeah, for me it's like with my story there is like I feel that I need more like trusting myself.
Yes. So your destination is self-trust then. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, whether it's an internal state or it's an external position in some way, we can use this process.
Mm.
As long as when we feel stuck, that's the thing. Oh gosh, now I'm here again. Pernille, how can you keep landing here again? Everything is a mess. You just cleaned your house a week ago. That's something I'm working with at the moment. Unmessing my house.
Okay.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you, Pernille.
Thank you, Annelie. And this would be the last question now, because I want to give the word to Dimitri to say a little bit about SAYIT. And while he does that, I will upload this document again that I uploaded when there was a few of you on the call, and I'll upload it now for everyone to have. If you're willing, Dimitri, to speak about SAYIT.
Yeah, thank you, Pernille. I really enjoyed the process, and I would have some questions. So just like we have 1 hour, so
Yeah.
I enjoyed how smooth it was, and I just wanted to say that we didn't make any kind of previous agreement of the solution that came. So it's kind of just visiting some NVC event, as we are also doing some promotion for NVC events. But I really enjoyed the clarity that this came out, and I have a judgment about myself that I'm not very good at marketing, and still I just want to share that I am actually really excited about this event, and I'm also looking forward for people who will choose Pernille's intensives in the morning and actually go with this one-on-one NVC base for any kind of work. So all of you that my work will be related to, that you work one-on-one with any kind of like a therapy or coaching, or I don't know, it can be really, really supportive what you just saw. And this is just like we said, this is just a glimpse of something that it might happen. And yeah, I would just pass the web page, and when I will send the recording, I will also send it. So I would invite you to check the web page and see what is alive on that. And especially what I really enjoy is that it's we have a very flexible pricing. So there is a sliding scale. We still have early bird till, I don't know, September 10th, I think. So it's kind of, you can still catch that one. And if the money would be kind of an issue, then please write us. We will try to find solution, either go to the rates or something. And also for the venue, this is an amazing hotel with a really amazing food. We did still kind of have a reasonable pricing for that. And I hope that this works for you. And yeah, it might be a vacation, but I'm guessing that it might be quite intense in that sense of life-changing experience. And if you have any questions, don't kind of hesitate to ask us. We are open to kind of clear anything that might be unclear. It's also the info@sayit.si. You can check, either going to be me or Meta or someone. We'll kind of try to find and see if this is something for you. And we are actually open for any kind of people with any NVC skills. So like, it would be supportive if you have heard for NVC already, but it's kind of open to all kind of ranges, because the workshops will be in the range of having a couple of days in NVC trainings, or just read a book, or being like hundreds of days in some trainings. So it's going to be a lot. And what more to say? I'm really excited also that we have a program in advance. So as I mentioned, this is NVC, so people might request something and something might change, but I really enjoy that we have a schedule, so you can actually get prepared to the event already. So you can see the workshops, you can already make a schedule, and then we decide on site.
Yeah.
But
So there is. Can I say a little bit about how it's structured?
Yeah, sure, please do.
So in the morning hours, I think it's 3 hours every day or so. 6 of the days. There's two of my trainer colleagues and myself. We are offering one track that sort of leads the whole way through. So you can learn the basics of needs-based coaching with me, of which you just got a taste here. And David Weinstock, he will talk about embodiment and community. And oh gosh, I wish I could be at every session of his. I'm so inspired by him. And Gabriele Grunt from Austria, she will speak about relationships, sexuality, and relationships with children, perhaps also. So those will be the morning sessions. You choose one of these tracks for the whole period, the one that speaks most to you. And then in the afternoon, not only do the three of us offer other sessions, so you can get a taste of all of us, but we also have some additional trainers. Are we 7 on the trainers team altogether? I think so.
It's 9 altogether. It's 9.
9. Okay.
3 core plus 6 in the afternoons.
Yeah, wonderful. So, and you know, the website tells it much better than I can, that they're just such a variety of applications of nonviolent communication that I think there's enough for everybody. It's a bigger problem to decide than to actually find something that is interesting. So I hope with this little announcement that you feel attracted to check the website out and see if this is where you'd like to spend your November this year. A week of November.
Thank you, Pernille. And I would also like to use this opportunity to thank Birgitte to be part of the demo and the inspiration that we got from that one as well. So thank you. It was pretty inspiring to see you. And I don't know, is there anything that we want to say for the end?
I would like to hear a few voices just of on what impression you are taking with you, and it could be as short as a 3-word sentence.
I have appreciation for the gentleness that this process allows. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the key. I feel seen. Thank you. Okay, it seems like that was it. It's been very, very sweet to be with you. And of course, I'm longing for having had more time. But there is also something about a succinct 60 minutes that has its own value, that this was it. Please come and have more. If you want that handout, you need to download it from the chat. I sent it a moment ago. It will ask you to save it, and you'll save it. If you're joining from your phone, it might be difficult. Write to me or Dmitry and we'll send it to you. That's it.
Okay, thank you for being part of it, and really hoping that see some of you at the SAYIT in November in Kranjska Gora, Slovenia.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest.
Thank you.
Thank you all very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for listening.
Bye.
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 Bye.